Okay, so have we covered some write up, write down journals, guys? Have we done that?
No, no rush.
Okay, so no problem. Duplicate. Suppose this is my fixed asset, and what is my net book value? Guys, see here. Suppose this is my net book value. Okay, this is my net book value, and so for some reasons I wanted to increase my net book value directly. Okay, so in that case, so I can use write up, and so if I want to decrease this amount, I can use my write down, so methods, so for that, so we need to define posting profiles. Okay, fixed asset, setup, fixed asset posting profiles, acquisition, write up adjustment. Okay, write up and write up. Okay, I don't give some revaluation account. Okay, so what I have done, so here I have taken group. I'll take computers. Okay, and also same way, so add for write down also. Computer main account. We'll take some revaluation. Okay, so I have done my posting setups, posting profile setups. Now I'll go ahead and okay, acquisition. So I'll take my write up adjustments. Okay, and I'll take some first asset. Okay, and give some amount of some 5,000, and offset it will pick up as per your offset. Okay, simulate. Okay, so what is my current adjustment, current amount? 54,000. It's supposed to be 59,000. Let me pause this one. I'll close it. Again, I'll come for balance. Say 59,000. It's been adjusted. My write up adjustment is 5,000. Okay, so same way, if I wanted to write down, so I have write down adjustment as well. Okay, so what I'll do, same way, I'll go here. I'll take my adjustment. Write down adjustment. I'll take same asset. The amount would be some 10,000. The account has been picked up. I'll post this one. So from 49,000 to it will become 49,000. Some 59 to 49. If I just go and see the balance, see the balance became 49,000. Some minus or write down of our amount is your 10,000. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Suppose I wanted to sell this fixed asset. Any doubts, guys? Here?
Yeah,
Right.
Rajshekar, yes, I have one doubt, Rajshekar.
Yeah,
So,
please.
anyhow, in the acquisition adjustment, we are doing the same thing, right? So, why again this write up and write down is there, Rajshekar?
See, you are going to do it directly with your net amount.
Okay, okay, Raj.
So not with so your acquisition value. So you are going to directly doing with your net amount, net value.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Any further questions?
Shikhar, can you please go back to the balances?
Okay. Yes.
So here there is a list of details is there: acquisition adjustment, transfer, reserve,
These
depreciation,
are
right?
not required here,
So
so these are
yeah,
adjustments, depreciation adjustments, suppose
correct.
you have so bought one fixed asset, and so after 5 years, so you have increased your amount.
Mhm.
Okay, you increase your amount of your fixed asset. In that case, again, if you want to adjust your depreciation adjustment, okay, you can add this amount. So prior periods you can't so go back and you can run this, right? For that reason, you will just adjust your depreciation adjustments. Suppose, okay, let me try to
Yeah.
post one. Yeah. Any further doubts?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm just asking whether go to the balances.
Yeah.
So these many is there a list of particulars. So
Hmm.
if you want to create anything, we need to create the posting profile for this. Correct?
Right. So
Okay.
so
Okay.
whatever the adjustment you do, so need to be done. This all the posting profiles should be there. You have this
Yeah.
posting profile accounts, right? You have list of posting profiles here.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, and
Yes,
these
sir.
to be
Go ahead.
these needs to be done.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And
Fine, sir.
also at the journal level as well, if you take new one, here also you have multiple things. Okay, write up, write down, so sale or provisions, and depreciation adjustment, revaluation, everything. Okay.
Okay, Shikhar.
So
Okay.
if
Thank
you
you.
set up there, so it will allow you to come here, so you can post the respective entry.
Rashika, just a question. Okay. While posting, while using a journal, also we can do it right. This posting profile is to determine to send it to the respective accounts, isn't it?
Yes. See, though you do, so with your normal general ledger also, accounts will be same. Accounts will be pick up. So your acquisition or depreciation, you can't do it in your direct journal. Direct journal will allow you to take only acquire fixed asset. If you go to your normal general ledger, you can't so do all this. So only your fixed asset sub ledger level you can so manage it. Just so if you want to acquire fixed asset, you can do it. Suppose I'll go ahead here. I'll take my fixed asset. Here you can just so acquire fixed asset, but you can't do some depreciation. You can't do some so some write up, write down. You can't do it here. Okay, clear, guys?
Yes, Rashika.
Okay, cool then. So now let's sell this fixed asset. We'll sell fixed asset to our customers. Okay, I'll go to some invoice journal, free text invoice. I'll go to near fixed asset, all fixed. I'm selling to my customers directly. What is my customer? So I suppose I wanted to sell my fixed asset to this customer. Okay, and then select which fixed asset we wanted to sell. Lenovo laptop, let's sell. Lenovo laptop sell. Okay, I'll take some my revenue account, revenue product. Okay, I'll take my sales, my taxes also. And what is the actual value of this fixed asset? Here we have no 49,000. Okay, we'll sell for 45,000. Okay, and now so which is the fixed asset I wanted to sell? This one. I'll save this one. I'll post it. Okay, now I have sold my fixed asset. Let me go ahead and see my impact of the books. That status became sold, right? And purchase or sale account has been created and invoice also been there. Okay, from where so we have which for which vendor for which customer we have sold this one, and which is the invoice. And also here you can see the details has been changed. Okay, and the status has been changed, and sale value also you can see here. Okay, and date also, which date so you have been disposal date or so sale date. Okay, so and we'll see the balance now. We can see actual entries so this is our acquisition, actual acquisition, and some 5,000 again we added to fixed asset, and there are 6,000 depreciated from this fixed asset. If there is any multiple days, and so you can, and if there is any again so depreciation adjustment, you can just add it here. It would be there here, and write up and write down values are there. Okay, so for the fixed asset, and you can see how much you have been sold to this so how much the sale amount of this fixed asset. And finally, what is my fixed asset gain or loss? So we have loss of 4,000. For 4,000 loss, we have sold this fixed asset. Okay, any doubts, guys? Any doubts, guys? This is very clear, guys. So just first you will acquire fixed asset, and so there will be a depreciations, and if there is any acquisition adjustments, you'll add. And again so if there is any again acquisition depreciation adjustments, you can add. And if there is any write up, write downs, and then so sale of fixed assets. Also so you have transfers in between. If there is any fixed asset transfers, you can add it. Apart from this so they'll not even touch any of the questions in the interview time.
Rajshekar, do we post any entries for this negative balance, the 4,000 profit and loss, the loss we got it?
It will post backend. Okay, so
Okay,
that I'll
okay.
show. Okay, now you can see here the transactions. You can see the complete transactions got posted.
It has been posted.
Okay, so you can see acquisition adjustment, depreciations. There are 3 months has been depreciated, and write up, write down. Now from here there are depreciation or so sale values. You can see here these are the depreciation and net book value. These all accounts from where it's been picked up. It has been picked up from posting profiles. We have set up, right, and also depreciation this year and the prior year. Okay, so we have done this one, right? From where? From
Posting profiles.
fixed asset posting profiles. You can see here we have defined, right, for the sale. When you sell the fixed asset, what is this? Okay, these all accounts you can see here. This year, prior year, profit and loss account, and your write up, write down, everything, disposal, net book value. Clear, guys?
Yes, Shankar.
Oh, okay, cool then. Okay, that's it on fixed asset side. Okay, there are a couple of reports. Okay, so just go through these reports and let me know if you have any queries. Okay, fixed asset transactions listing. We have seen all these reports, right? Listing reports. Just let me know if there is anything. Okay. Okay. So let's get into the budgeting module. Okay, this is again interesting topic, guys. Okay, we'll see some setups and also yeah.
Uh, only this via using a free text invoice we can solve the assets, or is there is any other way as well?
There is an option to so through journal also, FA journal also, but usually so you can sell this through so your sales order so maximum so free text invoice.
Okay.
You have here no so fixed asset. Last time we tried, right, so there was some error. Okay, so here also go to lines. Here also you have fixed asset sale. You have no disposal asset. Here also directly select that so you can select so your direct bank and you can sell this one. But so there was some error. I'll check that so okay. But the best practice so you're directly going to impacting your subledger through free text or so through sales order. Okay, clear, guys? Any further doubts, guys, till now? Hmm? Okay. So then let's get into our budgeting module. Okay. Budgeting. This is the last module, guys. So in our accounting, so trainings. Then we'll see some closures and revaluations and other stuff. Okay. So now you can see here. These all are the setup portion. You can see. I'll go to setups. I'll go to basic budgeting. I'll go to budget parameters. You can see these all are the budgets. What else I can do? I can do some use rules for budget transfers. Yes, let it be. What else? Workspace, number sequence are fine. Yeah, number sequence are fine. Okay, so this is fine. And then I'll go to my dimensions for budgeting. Okay, what all are the budget dimensions I want? So I'll take this one. I'll take my cost center, this one also. Okay, I'll say okay, and then I'll go to there is one more thing, guys. So the general ledger budget currency is required. Okay, ledger form. Have we done budget exchange rates? Yeah, so we have already defined the budget exchange rate. Okay, so do we have all the exchange rates? Yes, so somehow we have the budget exchange rates. This is fine. Okay, so now, so where is it? Budget. So let me create some budget models. Budget model I'll create as some budget model 2022. Okay, and generate these all are the sub models and all so don't require. I'll close this one. And budget codes. Budget codes are important, guys, so you can see here what is the budget you are taking, whether it is a original budget, or so transfer budget or revision encumbrances, so there are multiple one. The majorly we use original budget. Original. Okay. The reason code also, if you want to give, so you can give it. Give some reason codes. Give some original only. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is fine. I'll see. This is my sorry. This is my original, and I'll take my transfer also. If I want to transfer my budget, let's transfer budget. Budget. Okay. Another one. What else you have? We can take revision. Revision. Revision budget. Okay. Fine. I have given so 3 codes, so for my budgeting. Okay, first thing, so guys, any idea about budget? Okay, what is budgeting? Why we need budget? What kind of budgets we have?
That's a good question, Rashikar. You are last asked on a last.
Sorry?
We are not sure on budget, but it's it's a generic term. It's an pre-planned things for a particular business or anything for planning. It's kind of a planning.
Right. Any further answers?
It's a financial planning that what we will be going to put some tasks put into the place before we start any business.
Good. Good. Any further?
Forecasting of any expenses, Shikhar, for the future income.
Great. Yes. Yes, guys, so see the budget, there is, so there are 2 kind of budgets. How, so the system will be performed. Before that, so why we need budgeting? Why we need to plan our budget? Why we need to plan our budget? To maintain our cash flow stable, to maintain our revenue stable. Because suppose I have some 1 lakh funds in my company. Okay, in that 1 lakh, if I spend all 1 lakh on my purchases, I can't manage my other expenses. Then what will happen? The shortage of funds will arise, and so I can't manage my funds properly. I can't manage my business properly. I can't manage my expenses properly, right? For that's the reason, so what every company does, they are going to define their budgeting. How they define budgeting? There are 2 types of budgeting they'll do. One is standard budgeting or basic budgeting. What they do? They just go ahead and define, they'll just go ahead and allocate some funds to each and every department, each and every stream. They're going to allocate the budget. That is the one thing that they're going to do it and straight away. And other one is the historical budgeting. How they do is, so they are going to get the transactional data from past 1 or 2 years, and they'll analyze. Okay, so this year, so last 2 years I have spent my purchases cost this much. So this much is my purchase cost, and this much is my expense cost, and so this much is my salaries, this much is my rent expenses. So they are going to allocate the budget against the each and every different stream. Okay, each and every different stream, and based on that, so they'll plan, and so they'll execute their budgets, their funds, based on their past performance of the based on prior transactions. Okay, that is how the budget works. Understood, guys? Any questions still? So what is budgeting? Still you have queries? What is budgeting? How we allocate budgeting? Understood?
Shakir.
Okay, cool, guys. So budgeting is a very, very, so doable and, so understandable module. If you understand the logic, if you miss the logic, so budget is the very tough module than compared to all other modules. Okay, so just try to concentrate what we are, so doing on this setup portion. Okay, so what we have done now, so we have created our codes, and so we have created our models as well. Okay, and also budget allocation terms we'll see later. So these two we'll see at the end. And budget planning, so these are budget planning parameters, so we'll see. And also, so let's get into this planning level. Let's not get into it. So these all are the helping you to plan your budgeting. So how you need, so your budget, so whether you want, so planning process, and planning attributes, so these all are the, so planning, budget planning. Okay, let's get into our budget cycles. So how we want our budget cycles, so whether it's a 12-month cycles or a 24-month cycles, or so 6-month cycle, how we want our budget planning, or so budget cycles, how I want. And the cycle already there. If I want, I can so take one cycle, some budget cycle. This second budget cycle. We'll save this one. What happened? Unable to unique calendar. Unable to find the unique calendar. Okay, so actually, so calendar here we can't define, so we have to select from the calendars only. Okay, so what is our calendar? What is our calendar, guys? Some Techem physical calendar, something we have created, right? Okay, so fine, so I'll take it. So this TFC only. Okay. It's business calendar. Okay. And you can define, so how many periods you want, specify number of periods. Okay, so map to physical year also you can define, or else, so the periods also you can define. Okay, or else if you keep 0, so it will, I'll take it 12 periods. Okay, So here I'll just save this one. I'll add my calendar here. Okay, so from 01, which is the start date, January to December, because so based on my this one I have given here, it's picked up directly. Okay, this is how it works. I'll save it. Now my so the cycle, budget cycle is I have defined. Okay, now so this is the most important thing, guys. Budget control configurations. Let me get into budget control configurations. Okay, so now so I'll make it as create draft. Here which accounting structure you are using. Okay, what is our accounting structure? TechM accounting structure. And what are all the business units you are dimensions you wanted to use for your budgeting? Main account, and then business unit, and then cost center. Okay, and also you need to define which is your fiscal year you are using. I'll take some fiscal year. Here this is our TechM fiscal calendar, right? I can take here also, or else so I can take standard one also. I'll take some standard one. And so if you want to define some budget manager to approve, you can define it here here as well. Okay, you can directly here you can define who has to approve this budget. Okay, and threshold limit. Actually, so let's keep it so 90%. When it comes to 90%, it has to give some warning message. Okay, and display a message when exceeds. So if you disable the so disable enable this one, it will give us the warning message, boss, you are already exceeding your 90% of budget. Okay, over budget permissions. Suppose so still enough, if there is any of my transaction exceeds my budget. Okay, exceeds my budget, but still I wanted to post the transaction. In that case, so you can define some user groups here, and in that user group you can allocate some people here. So whomever you wanted to give the permission for the over budget run, you can run. You can add them into these groups. Okay, but I don't want to give any persons to so authorized persons to give the permissions to override my budget. If I give that so permissions, my budget will not in my control, right? That is the reason. But in some cases, if your client asks, then still you can provide it. Okay, here is some budget funds available. Okay, so budget funds, how it will be available, you can just over budget and preliminary budget and budget revisions needs to be added, draft, and so budget transfers. Okay, so this all I'll add it, and also in this side, actual expenditures and unposted transactions, budget reservations for encumbrances. Okay. See guys, so did you observe here, so whatever I add here, those all comes under here as a plus items. If you add 5,000 as original budget or 50,000 as original budget, if you add again, so preliminary budget something, and if you add revisions into it, these all will be add to your original budget. Okay, and if this side, if I add actual expenditure and so unposted so actual expenditure, budget revisions, and these all will be deduct from your original budget. Okay, this is how it works. And so if you want to include carry forward budget, yes. And documents and journal, what are all the journals you wanted to post the budget? Okay, I wanted to post some daily journal. Okay, some allocation journals also, and check the warning message also, check lines, check line entry also, let it be. Some FA journal also I want, I can keep it. And purchase orders and vendor invoices, obviously yes. payroll. Okay, these all are the journals. When I'm going to post these journals, my budget should run. My budget should perform. Okay, so that is the thing. And so assign budget models. If you want to assign the budget model, you can assign it. Some physical calendar. What is my calendar? Physical calendar is 2022. Okay, and it will start from January to till December. Okay, this is my budget model. I have saved it. Define budget control rules. This is also again so important task. Here so let's keep my budgeting for some advertisement expenses. My advertisement expenses always I'll not have some control, so that is the reason I'll just keep some control on some ad expenses. Okay, advertisement expenses. And here I'll add my criteria. This criteria is important for which main account you're going to keep it. Here also you have an option, so is in between. There are, if I want to control for some accounts, few accounts, some all expenses accounts I wanted to control, you can just ease in between, or so begins with or ends with, you can give it here. Okay, suppose I wanted to give some my ad expenses only. What is my ad expense account? General ledger. Where is my chart of accounts? Chart of accounts. Main accounts. This is my advertisement expense account. I wanted to control this one. Okay, so then so I'll keep it to physical years. If I want to add my budget manager also, I can add it here. Okay, if I want to add so multiple criteria, I can add it here. Okay, first so I'll keep it only for my ad expenses. Okay, I'll take this account. And if you want to keep it the main account, so again the main account controls you want, you can keep it, but I don't want. And then so again define budget groups. If you want to give this budget controls to few groups, you can define it here. Okay, and define message levels also. Who has to get this the budget messages, okay, when it is override or originator approver, fine. Now once I have done all this one, I'll just activate my budget. Okay, so what I have done here, I've defined my budget dimensions. Also so my budget cycles I have defined here, and so the threshold limit, everything I have defined. And if there is any override, so I can define here. And budget funds available, so how I can see my budget funds available, so when I have so my original budget and expenditure, I have to so reduce my expenditure from my original budget, right? Okay, so once I reduce my original budget from so expenses, then only so I can get my actual budget. Okay, funds available. And then so what are all the journals needs to be so appear, and so what are all the journals needs to be posted for this budget, I have enabled. Okay, so assign budget models, so which model, so I have defined this budget model, right? So that model I'll define here. And so this is the most important thing. I'm going to give the controls, which account so I need budget to be performed. So this account I wanted to control my advertisement expenses. Okay, I have defined here. Okay, then so if there is any select main accounts are there, I'll just select it, and so I'll control it. And then so if I want to give the permissions to my user groups, I can so give it here only. And message levels, who has to get the messages, budget override messages, you can define it here. And finally activate your budget. Any doubts guys before we activate?
Shekhar, where we can add the managers, budget manager and all.
See, so there are two levels you can add digit. So if you want to override permissions, if you want to give the manager, you can still define here. You can just take this group. Suppose this is the approver group, okay, and just click on this group. See here you can see, so who all are the users are there in this group. Okay, admin is there. Okay, if you want to give anyone, so the manager or anyone to permission, you can give it here.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, and also so suppose few users I wanted to give the permission. Okay, then here some budget or BUD budget approvers. I wanted to give some so permission to this team to create or so generate the budget register entries. So here I can give the add criteria again. So what is the name, accounts, all these values again I can give here. But usually this is not required. Okay, and define budget groups is not required. So the group level, if you want to define, you can just define it. Okay, clear? Clear, guys?
Yes, Shekhar.
Okay, so now I'll go ahead and activate my budget. Okay, so I'll just activate it. Okay, so now my budget is activated and I need to turn on this one. I'll just turn on this. Okay, so once I have once I have activated my budget, okay, so what I need to do, I need to post some budget register entries, right? I need to post some budget register entries. Okay, I need to allocate some budget, right? Okay, so I'll go to my budget register entries and I'll select my model, budget model, and what is the code? Original budget. Okay, add line here. I'll add the line and I'll post it to May 1st. And here again the dimensions and main accounts. Okay, so what is my main account? So add expenses, right? Advertisement expenses and advertisement and some management practices and marketing campaign. For this account, so I wanted to keep it some 50,000 budget. Okay, for this month, for May month, I have allocated 50,000 budget. Okay, if my budget exceeds more than this, so it should get some error to me. Okay, it should get some error to me, and so it should so allow me to. It should allow me to. It shouldn't allow me to post any of the transaction. Okay, so let me save this one. You can see here, you can see this green mark. Once you get this green mark, it means so your budget has been allocated and so against this account. Once this is done, you have to click on the update budget balances. Okay, just update your budget balances, update it. Okay, done what I have done, so I have allocated some budget against my advertisement expenses. Now how this budget works, so we'll see, and so we'll try to post one transaction here. Okay, now we'll go ahead and post one transaction adding my budget or an advertisement expense. I'll post some journal only. Okay, so new journal. Add general journal. I'll take my advertisement expenses and the marketing campaign and expenses. If I give 30,000, will give any error, or so what, how the system so perform? If I give more than 50,000, how the system behave, will see. Okay. Okay, so now I'll save. See, budget check passed, which means this 30,000 is under budgeting. So so the funds available for this 30,000. Okay. If I give 40,000, how the system perform? How the system behaves? I'll give some 45,000. See, still system is accepting because we have budget funds available. How much? 50,000 budget funds is available. So still my system will accept. Here, if you want to do some budget check warnings or error message, you can check here as well. Okay. Or else so funds perform budget, you can so just do it here. There is no errors here. Okay, so suppose if I give some 55,000 or 50,000, what would be the message? Okay, still so system is giving some warning message. What is it? What is this warning message? Let me see what is this warning message. Budget check passed, but why this warning message is coming? Because we have given some threshold, right? Threshold limit. So if it exceeds, so more than 90%, system should give me some warning message. Though I have 50,000 budget funds, system still will allow you to post the transaction, but still it will give you some warning message saying, boss, so you have exceeded your threshold limit. Okay. That is the thing. But if I exceeds budget of 50,000, what is the message? 55,000. Guys, am I audible?
Checker.
Yeah, Shekhar.
Okay, so now I have given 55,000 as my expense amount. We'll see what is the error message. Say as soon as I try to simulate this one, I'm getting error saying budget so and so journal exceeds the budget funds available for dimension value so and so by 5,000. But so you are exceeding 5,000 of your budget. If I try to post, it will not get post. If it will, so I don't have any override permissions. See, the journal has been cancelled. Okay, system has given the error. Budget control processing failed. It's been exceeded of 5,000. My budget funds is available only 50,000, and so my funds are only 55,000. Clear, guys? Clear?
Yes, Rashikar.
Okay, what I'll do, I'll post this transaction for the 50,000. Okay, so this 50,000 end user has posted. He has completely utilized the budget. If you see here, the budget statistics. Okay, so you can see this related information, budget entries or budget balances. You can see the budget funds available. The original budget is 50,000 and the revised budget is 50,000. So kind of so it will come to your revised budget only. So every month it will come to your revised budget. Okay, and actual your accumulated depreciation 50,000. Okay, accumulated revised, and this is your budget. And also I wanted to see my transactions against it. I'll go here. Budget or actual versus budget. This is also important, guys. You can see here what is my actual, what is my budget. What is my original budget? 50,000, and revised it will come to revised. And what is my actual amount? This much, and variance amount this much. It will come here. Okay, this calculates some based on some some currencies. Okay. Also, there is some apply parameters. You can see here. Okay. And also, I wanted to see some transactions as well here. Budget account entries also I wanted to see. I'll go here. So this is the transaction, it got posted. If I wanted to add my budget model, I can add it. And the sourcing, if there is any budget types, original budget, budget balances. If I wanted to see, I can again, it will take me to same path. Okay, this is my transaction I have posted. Okay, so also I wanted to check my budget control statistics. Just go here. You can see here what is the budget funds available. This is also important, guys. You can see here what is the budget funds available now. It is 0. What is the revised budget was there? 50,000 was there. And what is the actual expenditure you have posted? 50,000 you have been posted. Okay. And so percentage used 100% you already been used. Okay. So now there is one more thing. Actually, so usually, yeah.
Rashika, if you go to that actuals and budget, actual versus budget is there now. So there is some actual amount was taking some more amount. So where it has been taken from? That 11,000, that 1,13,000.
This is some so currency amounts will be picked up. So okay. Based on some different currencies will be picked up. Don't worry about this.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And so any doubts here? Okay. And so suppose usually how the budget queries you will get from your users is, so what they'll do, they'll start posting the transactions though it's been exceeded. Okay, so they'll go to your again here and general. Again they wanted to post some ad expenses with the same same account. Some advertisement expenses, marketing, some marketing campaign expenses, some 20,000 again they wanted to post. And let's take some. Okay, save it. See, budget check failed. So what is the entries? So what is the error message saying? it is exceeds 20,000. But you always see this kind of errors from your end users when you are working on the budgeting module. In this case, so they'll argue with you and saying, boss, so we already have, so your budgeting. In that case, you have to go to your budget register entries and you have to show them, boss, see here. So this is what your budgeting. Set a budget register entries. You can show them, so just filter out the account, so what we have been defined, and so what is the amount you have been defined. Also, you can show this entry, and so boss, see, so only this much you have been defined, and just go to your related information, budget control statistics. You can see, but this is what your revised budget or budget funds available. So you have to increase your budget funds to post the transaction. This is what your actual expenditure you already utilized. Okay, and so then they'll get some approvals, and so they'll go to some budget approval team, and what the budget approval team will do, again they'll revise the budget. Okay, they'll go here and they are going to revise the budget. They'll go here and take the date and budget model. Here again revision is there. Okay, and this is the revision budget. Just take this one, date, and what is the account, advertisement expenses, and what is your marketing campaign, and allocate again 50,000, or so how much amount they are requesting. I'll save it, update the balances. Okay, so now so he has allocated the budget. I'll save this one now. I'll go ahead and simulate posting. Okay, so now this is okay to post. This is not a file, but so if you create new journal. Okay, so let me create new journal. Advertisement expenses, marketing campaign. Expenses of 20,000 or 2,000 are fine. To my offset. If I save this one, budget check is performed. Okay. So now he can go ahead and post this transaction. Clear, guys? Okay, so now, okay, so okay, fine. So guys, there is so budget transfers, and tomorrow class, so we'll see about how to so allocate the transfer the budget between two dimensions. Okay, and we'll see so how to allocate the budget, how to control the budget on the purchase side as well. Okay. Okay, so then tomorrow we are going to complete the module level, and so then we'll start off some closures and evaluations and stuff. Okay, any doubts, guys?